Hey, what's up? It's I. It's I walking. Ooh, man. Okay, all right. It is I walking on a. I don't know about this weather in St. Louis because hot as hell one day, kind of spring-like the next day, like 77 or something like that. I don't know. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. But it's just not used to something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's funny though. Everybody says in St. Louis weather, just wait for it. It changes every 20 minutes. People have been saying that in every city I've ever lived in. I've lived in Houston. I've lived in San Francisco. I've lived in Detroit. Everybody says that. St. Louis is not exclusive to that. Just so you know. I just walk. Feels good to breathe the air though. Had mentally a tough weekend. Felt like I was being smothered just by life. And now to take a walk and breathe it all in, it's kind of refreshing and kind of makes me feel pretty good about it, I was looking at some of the headlines, pop culture-wise, like Tawanda Braxton, that's one of Toni Braxton's sisters. She told Wendy Williams she has an open marriage. And people say, well, I couldn't have that. Well, you couldn't. She can. You can't. There's a difference. Don't judge. See, everybody needs to walk in someone else's shoes. And that's a lesson that I've learned. When I did the radio show, and somebody would do something stupid, like a teacher would, call a little African-American kid the N-word, using it in context. And then, admittedly, I'd be on the air and I'd say, I want their job. I got to have their job. I don't know if I would ever do that again. Because the unemployment factor, unless you've been in it, you probably don't know what it's like. And if you've been in it, you know what it's like. I mean, you try not to worry about it. You put it in God's hands. That's what they tell me to do. I still don't know how to do that, but I'm working on it. But you follow what I'm saying? I think I was kind of like, yeah, I'm going to take their job. Not realizing the serious effects taking someone's job can have. Now, I'm not saying I would never say that. I would probably be, though, extremely selective and not as maybe cavalier as I've been about it in the past, because this is a life lesson. Someone posted the other day on Facebook about somebody needed $3. That was their Section 8 rent for the month. And they needed $3. And they were saying, one lady gave her $18. So basically that's 6 months of rent. And somebody said, most people said they wouldn't have given that woman money because if she can't figure out $3, well, I see the logic in that. But as you get older and you see more things and you hear more things, you witness more things, you feel more things, and you realize that sometimes we have to help our fellow person, our brother, our sister, save them from themselves. And if $3 will keep them off the streets during certain times, I'm not saying they won't be a victim or they won't put themselves in trouble, but if $3 gives them a place to lay their head every night, I can live with that. I can give $3. It's just having compassion. Maybe they don't deserve it. Maybe they don't. But I can't deny someone $3 for the sole purpose of just trying to teach somebody a lesson when it's $3 is the difference between living on the street and being under a roof. I just can't do that. A lot of people say they can find $3 in the streets or on the couch somewhere, change. Well, once you find it the first time, you're not going to find it again. Not at a couch. The couch ain't an ATM. But that's just me. Anyway, what else is going on? A lot of things happening in Detroit. They're like to turn off the water. You can't turn water off on people, man. I mean, the water company is one thing, but is the city doing this though? Is the city turning the water off on folks in Detroit? Because if that's the case, there's something criminal about that. It's a difference between those who struggle, those who've never struggled, and those who forgot what it's like to struggle. You know, if you struggled and you no longer struggle, it is your obligation to never forget what it's like to struggle. Never forget. You know, my dad, when he was a kid and he left his hometown, he went from city to city, he relied on the Salvation Army. They boarded him, they let him take a shower, they gave him meals. In every city, in different little small towns down in Texas, this is a long time ago. And I didn't know this. I may have told you this story before. After he died, my mother told me the story about the Salvation Army, and she said that every time he saw that red kettle, he'd make a beeline. He never really put less than $20 in that kettle because he remembered what it was like to struggle and how the Salvation Army helped him. And it was important for him to pay it back. And I think that's something that we tend to forget. The world is moving so fast that the important, essential things are falling between the cracks. You know, we had a hard day. I'm going to let these kids watch TV tonight. I'm just going to lay down for a while. And then it turns out you start doing that every night. Next thing you know, they're up at 10:30. It's summertime, so they're staying up late. And they're watching Zane's The Jump Off on Cinemax. And they're learning stuff they ain't got no business even seeing. You know what I'm saying? So they fall through the cracks. Things like that. Taking for granted that your child is, just because the kid down the street and your kid are the same age, they may be mature enough to handle being at home by themselves. Your child may not be. Doesn't mean your child is less of a person or is not as strong as them. They're just not ready yet. That's all that means. But we like to throw blankets on everything, put everything in the same box. That's because the world's moving too fast and we ain't got time to be separating things. That's what's killing us, man. The violence in the streets. You know, the Ray Rice thing, he only got 2 games. And that's been on social media for a while. I wrote about it on talking360.com, but I don't know. Men are interesting because I find, and again, here I am putting everybody in a box, but I find, generally speaking, that men that were raised without fathers, generally speaking, not in every case, but men who were raised without fathers don't agree with not hitting women. And I don't know if it's because it's their mama who taught them that if a woman hits you, you hit them back, or I don't know. We live in a bitter world, and we got to do better. But I'm done preaching. I'm walking. How's your walk going? You stepping? You doing some walking? You better be walking, man. Some people, I made some comments about some DVRs. This lady said that if you're not taping your favorite shows on DVR and walking, I don't know what I said, but it wasn't too nice. I was only playing. Lady sent me a message. She says, hey, I DVR my workout program, so I don't know what you're talking about. I heard that. But, I was looking at my analytics, and people were watching I got people watching this video in the Philippines. Hello, Philippines. I got people in the UK. Hello, UK. People watching from a lot of different spots. And I appreciate that, really. Leave a comment if you're out of the country. Tell me where you are. I'll keep walking. I'll end this right now. We're coming up on 9.5 minutes. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing, thumbs up, subscribing, signing up for my newsletter at talking360.com. I'll see you later.